1, 2, 3. You're going to do 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This number is completely flexible. If you want to do a wider border, you can. If you wanted it to be even bigger, you can chain any number. Doesn't matter. Just remember what that number is, and I'll tell you why. When we start in the 3rd chain from the hook with a half double crochet, the number now I want you to remember is 7. That will help you to make sure you have the same number of stitches in every row before you join to the base. So I'm just working half double crochets in the top loop of each chain as I head back down to the row. And this first stitch is always, it's the hardest. Kind of hold on to your work here. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's that first one that you just, that we started with right there. 7. We'll always be working 7 half double crochets down the chain to the base row. Now in the next stitch that is not worked into, work a slip stitch and work a slip stitch into the next chain or stitch that wasn't worked into. Now kind of keep this a little bit tight as you turn your work towards you, or turn it towards you, then yarn over. And this is where, if you're having a hard time knowing which stitch to start in, count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to go ahead and start in this one. Because sometimes it can look confusing down at the bottom of that row. I'm working just, sorry, I probably didn't say this. I'm working just in the back loop of that half double crochet. Here's number 7. I'm going to still double check myself though. It can get confusing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 2. Now turn your work back over. I know you'll have a big blanket in your lap, but you'll be able to just do the border. I'll show you on the blanket that I'm working on. I chain 2. Now make sure you work your 7 back down to the base row. You'll slip stitch over. Now when you get to the corner, all you have to do is stop slip stitching over and just repeat this 3 times, going back and forth, up and down. You just will eliminate. Now this is one thing, when you come back down, the back loop to that half double crochet is buried, and you're going to have to just kind of poke your hook down there, find it and pull it up. Very important, so that your border will stay even. Double check your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you can tell that I've already worked in there, so I'm going over to the next one and one more. Turn it, yarn over, start right here. So it's this stitch that kind of gets buried. It's this loop buries on you when you come back down, but you've got to find it. If it's hard to find, mark it right now, and then maybe you'll get used to where it is. That's my best tip for that. Okay, I think you've got it. Maybe I'll just show you what I mean on this. No, I'm not to a corner on that blanket, but it's the only thing I'm worried about. Turning it. What happens on the in the corner when you work it 3 times without slip stitching over is that it will fan out and around. So here's that 7th one. It is buried. Pull it up. So say this was a corner stitch, I would just slip stitch it right there, turn around, and start working up again. And I would do that for 3 times before then I would start slip stitching 2 times over. That's how you'll do the corner.